What's up, you guys? My name is Sabersonorf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. So, in the last episode, we did LEGO Flash Showcase, and earlier today, I mentioned that I was going to do another showcase video, so I'm finally getting around to it. So this time, we are doing Kingdom Hearts, like a second Kingdom Hearts wave, but this time we are doing LEGO Organization 13. So we have all the members here. We have, well, almost all of them. We have Xemnas, Ernest, Xigbar, Zaldin, and then, there we go, Zaldin. And Vexen, and Lexius, Zexon, Syax, Axel, Demix, Luxord, Marluxia, Larxene, and Hooded Roxas. As now I say almost because, because Shion is technically part of the organization, but I already did a showcase video of her, so I'm not including her in this video. Anyway, though I might do a second one in the future. So, as usual, we're going to take these minifigures one at a time and get a real good look at them. Alright, so to start the video off, we have Xemnas in his final form. When making this minifigure, I wanted to do, like, his final form coat, which I think came out pretty well. This is, like, side notes, these minifigures should go fast, because, their outfits are all the same, except for Xemnas. I wanted to do him in his final form jacket, so, like, I drew his decals on Drawcast, like, got the arms here, we got, back here, this little area here is a hood. We also have, like, the hair. This took a lot of molding clay to make the hair, and to make a majority of the hair pieces. And we also have his aerial blades. So these were, like, in a pinkish kind of color, but then I decided to go back and make them red, and I think these came out pretty cool. And why they look like Kylo Ren sabers is because the way on how he holds his blades is that they come out of his palms. So I wanted to give that, like, idea that that the blades can come out through the palms. Arms of the hands. Little rotation there. And, if you can tell, as you can see, like, the eyes and the mouth, and, like, the eyes and some of the face is a bit different. It was because when painting the hair, I didn't realize this until later on, that I accidentally gave him a silver eye patch by accident, so I had to, rather than just, I tried printing off a new face, but it turns out, like, the way how the clay is on the hair, I couldn't do that. So I instead took some brown paints, painted up a little bit, then took a gold Sharpie, did the eyes, silver Sharpie for the eyebrows, and then put white dots for the eyes. And this came out somewhat good. It's not perfect, but this came out pretty well in general. Alright, so let's go on to our next minifigure. Next up on our list is number 2, Xigbar. Yeah, Xigbar. And as you can see, like, he's got the eye patch, and I don't know if you can tell, because of the way on how this came out, but, why is my hand shaking? Stop it. But you can see, like, a yellow eye here, and of course he has the eye patch. And I'm not sure if the scars on his face are accurate to the original, but at the time when making this, I didn't really have, like, a full-on memory of what it looked like, so this was what I came up with. And as you can see, like, he's got his gray and black ponytail, got the hood, there's nothing really on the back. I didn't really bother to put anything on the back because I knew I was going to put a hood on there, so it was like, why even bother? So, you could kind of see some of the detailing, like, the coats were pretty simple. All I really did was just take some, like, silver paint, and, like, cover the base black, then take silver paint, and then do, like the zippers, and a little change, and this came out pretty well. Pretty much the only hard things really were the weapons. Like, as you can see here, he's got, like, his, archery gun things. So, like, I took 2 crossbows, and I modified it for where, like, I would put these on, and I'd put these little covers on, and then attach these side blades, I guess you would call them, on there, on the bottom, to give, like, the illusion that he has full-on ammo, so, like, and I think this came out pretty cool. But, yeah, not really a whole lot to go on from there, so we're just gonna move on to our next minifigure. So next up on our list is number 3, aka Zaldin. This was kind of an interesting minifigure to make, so, with his face, I took a Wolverine decal face template, and I, like, got rid of the scruff, gave the sideburns, and kept the eyebrows the same, to sort of really give off that, like, mean look, I think, that he has. And as you can see, he has, like, the kind of braids on the front, and ponytail on the side, on the back. He has a little hood. And hang on. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this. At least one of the spears. Oops, sorry. So here is his spear. It's basically the same thing. Modifying these was kind of interesting. So, like, I took some, I guess, call these long poles. I just know that knights would use them for, like, jousting tournaments. But I took those, then I put a couple of like a tooth claw, kind of on here, as well as a little cylinder piece, and he's placed it on the weapon to really give it a full-on spear effect. And I only made 2 so that he could hold them, because I didn't want to waste a lot of time making a whole bunch of spears if they weren't really going to go anywhere. So, for time's sake, I had to cut it down a little bit. And the rest of the outfit's still the same, so we're gonna move on to our next minifigure. So next up is number 4, aka Vexen. And, making this minifigure was actually seemed pretty simple. Very simple. So, like, you can't fully see, but he's got, like, blonde eyebrows, green eyes, and the blonde hair. I could have just gone for, like, a normal hairpiece, but, in order to comply with the hood, I had to do all the hair pieces made out of clay, out of molding clay. And his shield, it was sort of a mistake when I made the shield. I didn't realize that until I let an actual photo of Vexen, but I made the shield a bit too big at the time. And why is it cardboard and has a picture of the shield on is that sometimes with the weapons, I can't really forge them that well, which is why I don't make my own keyblades. Because I'm not that good of a sculptor, so I sort of use my imagination and kind of find a little bit of a shortcut. So when making this, I think I might go back and fix the shield, because this is huge, and it's way too big for him. So I think I'm gonna have to fix that there and make it the actual size. Okay, so none of that's really done. Oh, forgot. Detail is still the same, nothing new there, so now we'll move on to our next So next up is number 5, aka Luxius. So with his face decal, it originally had sideburns, but I took it through Drawcast and got rid of those. His hair was just a little bit easy to make. Because I just pinched my fingers and pulled it out to give it like that odd spiky effect. This hood is a lot smaller than usually is. Same detailing on the coat. Coat's not really much the same. This is his axe sword. So, like with Vexen's shield, I took a shortcut through that. Though, however, I can't take this off. I can't take it off because it's super glued on. Because back when making this thing, it kept falling apart, so I got tired of it and just super glued it to the entire hand. Which, now, it'll stay intact. It's kind of crooked, which is kind of bad. But there's not really a whole lot I can do anymore at this point in time. But in general, I think this is kind of a cool, and it's kind of a good minifigure. And I'm pretty satisfied of how it came out. I'm satisfied how all of these came out. These were very, very well made, in my opinion. But anyways, let's get ready to move on to our next minifigure. So next up is number 6, aka Emo Boy. Zexen. And this was a kind of interesting minifigure, so I don't know if you could see the rest of the face, but I wanted to give him an emo kind of look, because just the way how his hairstyle looks, you can tell that he's kind of emo. Underneath, like, same coat design. With this book, it was just a normal a brown book that I had in one of my previous sets. It's got the hood, though with the book. On the side of it, it's got the cover book and the cover up. I wanted to give that so that, like, it'll really look like he's reading, like it's his book. And I think this came out pretty well. And well, it was kind of funny to make the hair piece, because I'm just making this and thinking to myself, like, he is so emo. Which he kind of is, if you think about it. But I think this came out pretty well. I'm not sure if it's exactly like his hair color. It's kind of hard to think about it. It's like a cross between a navy and turquoise-ish. But in general, but from the looks of things, the results were pretty cool. Alright, so now we'll move on to our next minifigure. So next up on our list is number 7, aka Saïx. Pretty much Xemnas' right-hand man, or maybe his left-hand man, because I know that he's one of the closest ones to Xemnas. But he also has, like, the yellow eyes. He's got the cross, the X scar. If you notice that his mouth is a little bit weird, it was because, once again, I messed up on the mouth, and so I painted over the decal and did a Sharpie to try and fix the mouth, so this doesn't look as pretty as it did in the beginning. The outfit is still the same. It's got the sideburns as well. Well, when I first made this, I forgot to include the sideburns, so when I did a Facebook photo of it, it was just, like, slick back hair. The hair was back at the back of his head, and I was thinking, like, oh, shoot, I accidentally forgot something, so I had to go back and fix that. Over here he has his claymore, which is a little bit loose, because like the axe sword, this has fallen off a lot, so I kind of have to be careful with it. But I was debating whether or not to go with this version or the Berserker version, and I decided to go with the normal version, because that's the version that he wields most of the time. And Berserker only comes in when the moon is on him, which kind of makes him a werewolf, if you think about it. Okay, so now that that's done, we'll move on to our next minifigure. So here we have number 8, aka Axel, or Lee, as he is now called, and this was another fun minifigure to make. Sorry, the paint is kind of coming off a little bit. I haven't touched these in a while, so I think I need to repaint a few of their hands. The coat is still the same. He also has his charms. So like with the other weapons, like, I didn't trust myself of sculpting the weapons, so I decided to take a shortcut through them. The face, I tried to get it into kind of like a smirk kind of face, but I'm not entirely sure if it came out pretty well. His eyebrows, they kind of look weird. I think those could have come out better, but at the time I wasn't fully thinking, so I guess it's what it is. He also has a little hood underneath, and of course he's got his crazy spiky red hair, which I just took, like, rolls of clay, then rolled them up together, and then stacked them on each other, like, one at a time, and then painted it red. And his like, coat is different. Reason is because at the time when making these minifigures, I was short on, like, gown kind of pieces. This is, I guess you would call them, and I wanted them all to be the same length, so I made them all tall, except for Roxas. And at the time, I was running out of these pieces, so what I did was, I took a couple of bricks and modified it to where, like, he would stay tall, or he would stay at the same height as everyone else, adjusted to be slightly longer. But this came out very well, and I'm very satisfied with it. So we'll move on to our next minifigure then. So next up is number 9, aka Demyx. Demyx, of course, outfit is still the same, along with the hood. The hairpiece, it was kind of a little interesting to make. So what I did was, first off, I did sort of like a short hair kind of thing, and then I applied the mohawk on. And I'm not sure if this is the actual color to his hair, but I think the mohawk came out closest. His face. This was originally a scared kind of face, but I decided to just squint the eyebrows and give him kind of a smirk. If I could remove this hairpiece, I probably would give him, like, a scared kind of face. He also has, like, his star, I think is what it's called. I know it's like a guitar, but it's not called that. So, yeah, and I super glued a shield handle, from my Tenkai Knights, and so that way he can hold his weapon and be able to play, and be able to fight against enemies, or just use it to be lazy as always. But anywho, this was pretty cool. So we're gonna move on to our next minifigure. So next up on our list is number 10, aka Luxord. And if you could sort of see through the image, he has like the blonde beard. I didn't realize it was more like a goatee. Until I went back to KH, and at the time I already finished this, so it was a little bit too late for that. Coat is still the same, same with the hood. I could have gone with a short hairpiece, but at the time I didn't really have any, so I just went ahead did some clay and made it as short as possible. So you can see he also has, like, he's holding little cards. I can't really remove these because you can tell the picture is sort of scrunched up, so it's kind of ruined. And I just wanted to go ahead with short cards because I know that he can, like, change them up to big cards and stuff like that. But like with Zeldin, I didn't want to make so much stuff that he wouldn't even carry. So it was like, how would I even do it? So, I just resorted to him holding small cards in both hands, and I think this came out pretty well. Very well. So, let's go ahead and move on to our next minifigure. Okay, next up on the list is number 11, aka Marluxia. Space decal I actually made on my own in Drawcast. In Drawcast, I just took a template and drew what I felt closest was designed for his face. As you can see, it has a little bit of the spikes from his hair. His hair, I think his hair is supposed to be like a darker pink, but I think this is like close to what it's supposed to look like. Same design of the hood, the body. His weapon though, I built this myself because like printing out the scythe, the handle was way too skinny for it, so I had to improvise and make it for close to what it looked like. There's like, so he has like a little shuriken here, a little spike at the end, and I had an extra Jin Blade, I think is how they're called, Jin Blade from Ninjago, and I think this came out pretty well. And well, had I had another blade, like another specific blade, I would have used that instead. But I think that this graceful assassin's weapon is coming out and came out pretty nicely. Okay, so we're almost done. We have 2 more minifigures to go, and we'll wrap this video up. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so second to last minifigure we have number 12, aka Larxene. Like, aside from Xion, the only female in the organization, which is kind of sexist if you think about it. Of course, we have, like, her blonde hair on here and her little antennae. And I could have, like, taken a short hair piece and, like, just do the antennas, but I wanted this to all look even up, so I made sure that all of it was made at the same time. So you can see she also has the same detail on the coats and the back. Her knives, I only did 2 of them, and because, well, I had, like, 3 scenarios of, like, how to do the knives. First, like this, where I just take some gold knives that I had, and then super glue some shurikens on. A second scenario was to do, like, a Wolverine claw kind of style thing for where, like, I take some claws and then just paint that to where look like her knives. Or I saw how when someone made their organization minifigures, they took the knives and only did a little bit on her hands. And I'm not that very skilled with, like, stuff like that, so I decided not to go ahead and do that, and just go ahead with the knives at the time, because it seemed like my best option, and also, I didn't want to make a whole bunch of knives for her that she wouldn't use. I only decided to do 2, and these came out pretty cool. Okay, so now let's wrap this video up with our last minifigure. And last but certainly not least is Hooded Roxas. Roxas, my favorite out of all the organization members. So as you can see, he has Oblivion and Oathkeeper on the sides. And he's also, like, I think he was my first organization minifigures to make. So, like, he's got his legs. He's the only minifigure on this bunch with legs. He's the only one out of all the organization minifigures with legs. And so you can see, like, he has his hood with, like, the little chains on it. I think I could take this off and show you guys. Like, there's no face underneath. There we go. Like, see? No face. See how I did the hood? And the hood a little bit. I tried to make the hood, like, more accurate to like, the game, but it didn't really come out well. A little detailing on underneath, and I can actually take the other head of Roxas off and put it on this one. Actually, let's go ahead and do that, so you guys can get an idea of what he looked like. So, hold on. Hold on, come, get off. Get off. There we go. See, was that so hard? Oops. Sorry, iPad. Okay, hold on a second. Here, Roxas. This. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so. Hang on. Let's fix the camera. And, there we go. Is that good? It should be at least somewhat good. Good. And this is like Roxas in his organization coat. No hood on the side because the way how this minifigure was designed was that's like he's wearing the hood, so I can't really. And so it would look kind of weird if he had like a hood on and a hood underneath. So I decided to just go ahead and make and just do a hood rather than just like another minifigure like this. And plus this way I can just take the head and put it on and off whenever I want. So yeah, this minifigure turned out very well. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and wrap this video up. And that concludes this episode of LEGO Arts. I really hope you guys have enjoyed these minifigures. These were pretty much my summer project last year. Like last summer when I first started, when I was like really getting into LEGO designing, I really wanted to make these things, so I spent like months collecting all the necessary pieces I needed to make for them, and then coming up with designs of how I would make them. And then in the end, and like towards the last month of summer, because I was so busy with other stuff, I hurried up and finished them up as fast as I could. And I was really looking forward to putting these in a showcase video back when starting the channel. So, I'd say that this episode was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Probably not as good as the last KH one that I did. Which, by the way, if you have not seen that one, I will include a link in the description below, or you can click on the playlist, unless for LEGO Arts, so like check it out and see for yourselves. Also, what they look like, as well as check out the rest of the episodes that I've made. Hey, so there's still I have another set of Kingdom Hearts ready for like a third wave, which will center on Birth by Sleep. It's not gonna be the next episode, and like at the end of this episode, I'll include a little teaser of like what to expect from the next episode, because I just got those minifigures done today, and I really want to show you guys. Them. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, share this to your friends, subscribe for more content, and here's a howl for the road. Ow! Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time when the ice moon rises.
Next time on LEGO Arts.